Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Dyson Sphere program. So today we are actually making our planetary logistics towers. That was the first one that just got made. I have my circuit boards coming in here. Or no, my processors, I'm sorry, which are being made here. Then I have my particle containers coming in from right here. We're pulling the steel from here, and obviously the titanium from the storage tanks there. The particle containers are being made over here, getting the materials coming in here. And then afterwards, we'll take the towers that we make and we're going to route them over to where we have our titanium alloy being made, which we have a significant amount of. So hopefully, very shortly, we will have towers up that we can start removing a lot of these belts and reclaiming a lot of area, because I won't need to run belts all the way around the planet anymore. I can just run towers and have drones fly them from one spot to the other. So I'm going to let these build up for a little bit, and then we'll come back and get started on laying them out throughout the planet and even moving them onto the other planet so that we can start automating bringing in titanium and silicon. All right, welcome back, everybody. Just a quick update. I've automated making our drones here, going into... Oh, actually I forgot to bring over steel, so I can do that real quick. I think I have steel not too far away. Yep, right there actually. So I'm gonna need to pull that into the assembly machine, which we can do really quickly with just a couple of belts. Actually, let's bring it in on this side here. So there we go. Now we got steel, or the iron, coming in. We should be making our first drone here any second. We'll see it come across that little conveyor belt. And there we go. So we got our drones going up now. We should have a few towers already. We're up to 9. And that's just going to continue to process and build up. So once I have a few stacks of these and a few stacks of drones, we'll start getting everything set up and actually get into the logistic tower setup and progressing through that area. All right, welcome back, everybody. So I'm pretty sure I'm all ready to set up this interplanetary logistics system. So we've got our interplanetary tower here. Go ahead and place it down. Or interstellar logistics tower, I should say. So we're gonna run the power over to it, get it powered up. Now these things take a lot of power. So while it's setting up, we're gonna set it up for titanium ingots and silicon ingots. And we're gonna set those up for remote supply, so we want to be sending out. And I've made some of these logistic vessels. We're going to put those in on the other planet though. So right now we need to route all of our materials in that we're going to be sending. So we're going to delete these old conveyor belts that we won't be using anymore. And we're going to run them over here into this tower. Just like that. And just like that. So that should be okay. I just wanted to make sure I was sending the actual bars and not the ores. So we're going to do the same thing here. We've got 3 lines that we need to send in. So let's get these lined up. Where did my, there we go. So we're gonna go right up to there. Oh, of course I went too far. All right. So there, right into there. And then these will just meet up with it. So now we should be set up for this to go from this planet over to our main planet. Why are you not going in? Did I not go all the way? There we go. Okay, so now we're storing them, and this will hold 10,000 of each ingot. So that's a decent amount. Let's go ahead and head back to the home planet. And as soon as I'm there, I'll bring you guys back and we'll set up the new situation. All right, and we're back. So I've had to upgrade the power on this planet to be able to support this, but I have a nice little spot for it right here that's pretty close to where most of my titanium and silicon is going to be used. So we're going to put that down, and we're going to set it up for titanium and silicon, but we want this to be remote demand. So we want it to be pulling supply from the other planet. So we're going to go ahead and put these logistic vessels in here. And there they go, taking off to head off to grab that stuff. Now on here it should show that we have 600 in transit and another 800 in transit. So they're going to fly to that planet, pick it up, and then bring it back. So as soon as they get back with it, we'll come back in and I'll route this stuff going to where I need it to go while we wait on that. And then I'm going to let it sit up for a couple of hours so that I can get some resources generated that I need. And then we'll come back in a little bit to continue on with setting up the planetary logistics systems so I can get rid of a lot of these belts. Okay, and as you can see, I went ahead and set up one of the towers to transfer materials from that interstellar station over to the interplanetary tower. It's bringing over silicon and titanium. I've already had a few trips done. I've limited it to about 2,500 of each material, just because I don't need this thing completely crammed full. So I've routed the silicone to come out in here to help make more of these microcrystalline components so that we can continue to make more drones and the various components we need there. I haven't routed the titanium out of there yet because I still have a nice little stockpiling where I'm gonna need it at. Over here at the big tower, I did route the titanium out of here and into the belt to swing around and feed into making the titanium alloy, just because it's right next to the station, and I still have a decent amount here too, so I have plenty of materials here on the planet. So eventually I'm going to spread out a bunch of these stations throughout the planet near where I have all of my resource patches, which are not turned on right now, so that I can just automate bringing that all around. So I don't have to run all of these belts all over. We can just get those all out of the way and put factories there that are gonna build stuff for us. Make it a little bit easier to get the materials where we need to get them. So I'm gonna let some resources build up so I have some more of those towers and some more of those drones. And I'll probably need to up the power on this planet at some point pretty soon, just to handle all these extra towers that are going to be here. So I'm going to take care of that over the next couple of hours, and then we'll come back for an update. All right, we're back. It's been sitting here idling for a little bit. I'm set up another interplanetary tower here, or a planetary logistics tower, to get my yellow sciences back up and running. So this is only bringing in titanium, and we've progressed pretty much. This is the last of the yellow sciences I have to use, and then we'll start moving on to the next science group. I set up another tower as soon as I can find it over here to bring in silicon to get our production back up over here, so we can start producing more of the components needed to make the drones. I still have to manually put in some stuff over here. I haven't set that up quite yet, and I'm probably not going to automate that just because this is all going to be moving at some point, so I'm not too worried about that. The factory that we rebuilt in the last episode is going to get rebuilt again, mostly because there is a lot of spaghetti in here that needs to go away. This part of the factory isn't too bad. It's pretty compact. I probably won't rebuild too much of that. But this area here will probably get rebuilt, as well as this area over here. And then I also want to rebuild the section where our sciences are all built at, because right now the footprint for those factories is really, really large. So I want to condense this, because this is a big area that can be condensed quite a bit with getting rid of all these belts. Same with this stuff up here. There's just a lot of area that can be reclaimed. So I want to work on that over the next day or so, as well as setting up on the next planet all of our mining equipment. Let's just go ahead and fly over there since it's actually in line. So I want to automate basically mining and smelting everything on this planet and having it all sent over to our home planet. The original plan was just to move all the factories over here, but there's really no reason to. At this point, I've closed up a lot of the ocean on the home planet, and there's quite a bit of resources over here. As you can see, we have our one interstellar tower there, as well as we got all of our solar panels on the north and south pole, which I'm going to expand those as well. And hopefully in the next little bit, we'll be moving into actually setting up the solar flares and generating power that way. I believe they're already unlocked. Yeah, they are. And they don't appear too difficult to make. The graphene we are automating, and we're going to automate further. Where is it? So this little white cube underneath the sulfuric acid, I am going to be setting up the orbital collectors. Now that we have the drones that can fly back and forth, and I have a gas giant that I'm going to be setting up to pull that stuff from. So the plan is to also build enough to circle the planet, around the equator, to start pulling that stuff out and sending it back to the home planet. So once we do that, I think we'll be sitting in a pretty good position and can really start to advance. Let's see. Let's go ahead and remove this one. And we're going to drop down the wireless tower so I can recharge here. So I think that's going to do it for this particular episode. If you guys liked it, be sure to leave me a comment down below, and be sure to check out some of my other content. Till next time, take it easy.